Hello my friends, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video, which is going to be my July Eyeshadow Palette Extravaganza. Now when I say extravaganza, July was it. I bought more palettes that month than I have in a very long time in any one given month. But I mean, 6 of them are smaller mini palettes, so there is that. But if you're interested in seeing what palettes I picked up for the month of July and how they worked out for me, then just keep on watching. Where to begin, you guys? So several of these are Colourpop palettes. You know how frequently Colourpop releases, and yeah, I mean, quite a few of them are actually. So I am gonna put those, I'll put the minis to the side, and we'll start chugging away at those. But let's start with the first Colourpop palette I bought for the month of July. I bought this one at the very beginning of the month, and I have to say, this Lush, what is it called? Lush Life eyeshadow palette is probably one of the best Colourpop has ever come out with. Their quality is always on par, but this one, there's just something extra special about it. The color story is a little bit different than what we're used to seeing, and oh my goodness, this packaging is absolutely everything. So there's something just so appealing about this eyeshadow palette, and I think part of that is this green right here that drew me in. That's one of the main reasons I wanted this palette, but there is a quality as far as like pigmentation and ease of use that I absolutely love. And I love that the tropical colors allow me to just do a kind of one and done type of look. And that is what lately I've been going for. I've been going with even more minimal than usual because that extra sleep calls my name. But this is definitely a very tropical looking palette, and it didn't disappoint. All of the shades are absolutely like spot on. They are pigmented. They don't get, you know, these types of jewel tone, I guess, or tropical shades. Sometimes they're hard to get right because they look great in the pan and then you go to put them on the eye and it's like very sheer, and it's just, you can get bare spots and stuff. Not so with this one. I love this palette, and truly I think it's now one of my very favorites by the brand. So let's move into another Colourpop palette. I bought this one early in the month as well, and this is the Cherry Crush palette. This is another one that I'm really happy that I picked up. I had wanted it, I placed the order, and then I almost had a little bit of like buyer's remorse. I was like, do I need another red palette? You guys know how I feel about red eyeshadows. I'm actually so glad I picked it up because this has reds that actually stay red and don't transition into like a pink color, and I was so happy that that was the case. And I find it funny how every time I wear a Colourpop palette, I get asked when I go into Sephora, like, what are you wearing on your eyes? It looks so good. I'm like, it's just a Colourpop palette. It's like $10. This was a very fun type of palette, and this is not a color story for everybody. But this definitely is, again, right up my alley. I love a good red and bold pink eyeshadow, and this palette didn't disappoint. So if you're in the market for a red eyeshadow palette, then this is a very good option. So let's move on from that. Let's talk about a couple of palettes that I picked up at Marshall's for $7.99. I have been very much into the brand Cara Beauty, and so I find that, let me take a step back. What was the first one I bought at Marshall's? I can't remember. It looked like a magazine cover. I was blown away. And I've purchased a few more since then, and I think that one set the bar so high that I haven't loved one as much as those, or as that one, but I do still like them, and I think for the price point, it's pretty decent. And these were $7.99 for reference. I mean, the packaging was so cute. Felt like I couldn't pass them up, you know? The color stories also really spoke my name. I mean, if this doesn't scream Michelle to you, then I don't know what does. So there's a whole lot of brights. There is a pressed glitter. It looks very chunky, and I am kind of afraid to use it, honestly. I feel like it looks like at one point what the Colourpop ones looked like, and I don't know that, honestly, I would put this on my eye. I feel like that is a little risky. Oh, but it's beautiful. So anyways, but there is that. But overall, I do like these palettes. I feel like they're not as bold as they look in the pan. They can be a little, there could be a little bit added kick that there's not. And that kick was what I found in the very first Cara palette that I picked up. But like this one right here, this little zebra shade, that totally intrigued me. And it's actually very, I don't know how to describe it to you. It's more of a sheer kind of topper shade. So there was that. And then the other one that really intrigued me that I do like is this orange shade. That one is pretty nice. But again, for $7.99, it's pretty decent, and at least I got to try it out. And then there's this, and that was called Beyond the Sky. This one's Escape the Ordinary. They do feel very lightweight, so there's not like a whole lot of weight to them as far as, wow, these are like, you know, like you paid a lot for them kind of thing. So this is this color story. Again, the Perfect Michelle color story right here. This one, I love these types of shades. So let me give you a couple of swatches of these mattes. Now, some of these are kind of pastel type of shades, and they are going to come across like that. Sometimes pastels just are a little bit on the lighter side. See, like that one and that one. And it's rare that I come across a pastel that's absolutely knock your socks off bold. I want to say the only palette that I've come across that has had that kind of intensity is the Give Me Glow Pastel Dreams palette. That one, if you are a pastel lover, then you need to check that one out. That one has really incredible pastel mattes. But yeah, so definitely awesome for just, you know, not investing too much money, but still getting a decent quality eyeshadow. I did find the yellow one at a different TJ Maxx, and I ended up passing on that one because I was like, all right, well, I was able to feel out the quality of these. And if I were to do it over again, I don't know that I would pick them up, but it's kind of one of those things that, you know, Marshall's, once you purchase, you're committed. All right, let's move into another Colourpop eyeshadow palette. You guys, this is the story of my childhood. Like, this is nostalgia at its finest for me. There was no question that I was going to get this palette. I love this so much that it took me back to where I think they had released the Powerpuff Girls complete series on DVD a few years ago for the 10th anniversary, and I passed on it, and I so regret that because you can't get those anymore. I think you can get like a couple of the seasons, but as far as the entire collection, you can't. So if you were smart and picked that up, then good for you. That's awesome. Okay, so the packaging is so cute. Like on the inside, there's like the little emojis of all of the Powerpuff Girls. Some of are the villains in here? I don't know. But so super cute. Just everything about this collection was super perfect, spot on. Like they did it a wonderful service, basically. They honored the TV show well. I want to say this is probably the best feeling eyeshadow palette I have ever felt from Colourpop. It's weighty, and that's because it has a mirror, but it's just, the quality is incredible. Like I don't even know how to. It's just very substantial. And then the little stars and hearts are like almost kind of holographic, and they just shift in color. So pretty. Everything about it, obviously, I love. And then look, the shade names on the back are in stars. So the mirror, and I don't want to blind you, but it's got the Powerpuff Girls there. And then this is what this looks like. You've probably already seen this before. I think I would have liked to have seen a little bit of a bolder color story. I love that they incorporated the pink, the green, and the blue. That was perfection. But I wish it was a little bit bolder. So here's the green, still beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's a lot of neutral in this palette, and I guess they were trying to, see like this top row, I guess they were trying to please everybody by having not only like the colors, but also some neutrals in there, just to kind of, you know, have kind of a 2-for-1 type of thing. So that's what we've got there. But I don't know, when I think of Powerpuff Girls, I think bright. So I would have loved an entirely bright palette, but that's okay. The quality of these, still wonderful. There are 2 pressed glitters, which I think rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I know, because a lot of people don't want pressed glitters in their palettes. I, for one, don't mind them. But for reference, it's this one and this one right here. And yeah, I don't mind them. I will put them to use. I find that the glitter is less chunky than what it used to be by Colourpop, but I don't know. I might be imagining that. I feel like I need to go back to one of their older palettes. But this total win as far as quality, as far as paying respect to the show, and it was a little bit pricier. I want to say that one was $25. Let's move into KKW Beauty. So this one right here is the, what is this called? This is the Camo palette. I had wanted this one since it released. Like you guys know, I'm here for an amazing olive shade, army green shade, and I wanted it once it released, but I held off, and I'm so glad that I did. So here's what this bad boy looks like. I had thought, I don't know why, I had thought that this was going to be like a canvas type of material, and it's not. It's just regular cardboard with a camo print. Now, because KKW Beauty is kind of, I guess, reformulating, I think she's going vegan. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, she basically closed down her shop, and it's closed for a limited time while she does all of that. So what they ended up doing was I got an email that everything was something crazy, like 30% off, maybe 40% off. I can't remember. I want to say 40% off. And the email included a $20 off coupon, which was mind blowing. So I was like, what? Let me see if I can use it on the Camo palette. Sure enough, it came to 20 some dollars, which I was so glad to have waited on the palette because it was such an amazing deal compared to 60. So in typical fashion, it's got the mirror on the one side, and then the color story in this palette is absolute perfection. And the metallics in this palette are just nothing that I expected. So for reference, this is the palette that I am wearing on my eyes today. I am wearing this shade right here, which is like a duochrome. It's like a green brown type of shade, but nothing like I've seen. So that's kind of nice to have something a little bit different. I love these metallic shades. Even the mattes perform well. I've never had an issue with her eyeshadows. In fact, I actually do like her eyeshadow palettes. I just don't buy them all because I find them to be very repetitious. It's like the same color story or just neutral after neutral. And so this definitely called to me. But these metallics, you guys, I wore this one and people were asking me at work what I was wearing. These are just very intense, and I don't remember them being so intense in her palettes. So let me give you the one I'm wearing on my eyes today. It's almost kind of like a snake type of shade. I know that sounds weird, but so just absolutely beautiful, easy to work with, and such a good deal. But I do highly recommend this palette if you are of, like mindset and you like a camo, olive, army green type of color story. This is perfect, and I'm so glad that I picked it up. Glad that I waited as well. Okay, let's bump over to, let's talk BH Cosmetics. So they re-released the Sweet Shop, not re-released, they restocked the Sweet Shop palettes. And you guys know that I was still waiting for a couple of them. I passed on them the first time. What a regret. So they finally restocked, and I picked up Pistachio and Sugar Cone. You guys, if I had to pick top 10 palettes out of my entire collection, I guarantee you at least the Pistachio would be in there, quite possibly this one as well. I love the others that I have, and they just set the bar so high, and these didn't disappoint. These color stories are so perfect. There's just such a magic to these eyeshadows. I don't know what they did. I don't know how they formulated them, but these metallics are just on another level. I can't. I'm gonna give you this swatch right here. So beautiful. If they are still in stock, which I will link all of these below, but I hope they are because you kind of need to check this out. It's absolutely stunning. Let me give you one more. I mean, for the price point, and I can't remember, these may have been $18, maybe $20. I don't know, possibly even less than that, but they are such an amazing value for the quality. Don't sleep on BH Cosmetics. They are an amazing, I typically use them for eyeshadow, but I know they're a great brand for other products as well. But they are a great eyeshadow brand. Don't just kind of pass them by. They have a great reputation for good reason. So that particular one, I feel like I'm needing a wipe here. I just brought in a paper towel. It's getting a little messy. So that one's Pistachio. Let me show you Sugar Cone. So for a neutral lover, but a neutral lover wanting a metallic pop, this one right here. This is just so stunning. I can't even with these. Like they did these so right, and obviously people saw that because they sell out practically every time they release them. So beautiful. Let me give you a matte shade. Just perfection. Perfection. I'm so glad they re-released those and that I was able to get my hands on them. I love those. All right, so moving into Makeup Revolution, which I don't typically buy. That is very, when I say hit or miss, it's more miss. And I've bought a handful of things and I'm kind of like, And so I had seen Juicy Jazz feature this in a Get Ready With Me. And I was like, what is that palette? I need that. That is a neon, that's me. And so this is the Neon Heat palette. And I went to my Ulta, picked it up, and never looked back. This palette is absolutely incredible if you are a neon lover. And let me tell you, when I say that they come across on the eye the way they look in the pan, yes, they do. They're absolutely stunning. I don't think I was ready for so much pigment. And I was like, oh, what is this? I want to put it all over my face. This is absolutely stunning. Again, if you are a neon lover, if you're still looking for something summer appropriate, this one right here, or just grab it and save it for next year. These shades are so easy to use. They are very pigmented. They are just very neon. They're bright, they're summer, they're everything heat, quite frankly. So I know we're looking a little bit sloppy here, my apologies. So these three right here, look how amazing that one looks. This is crazy. This is a $25 palette, and I think I had like a $5 off coupon. So I got this palette for 20 bucks and have been mind blown every single time I have used it. So for being a hit or miss brand, at least for me, this was a hit, like a just hit it out of the park, home run, every single bit. This was perfection. So neon palette, if you're a neon lover, you need to check this one out. Just go to your local Ulta or just snag it online. But this was perfect. Now, I forgot that they do these tin type of packagings, and I wasn't really like, I was like, oh, okay. But hey, aside from that, I love everything about it. This is so perfect. Again, it's not for everybody because, you know, not everybody wants a bold highlighter type of shade on their eye. But you know what? Sign me up. Then let's move into the final minis that I picked up. And so this is the Colourpop Hello Kitty. What is this called? Coco Cutie. It's this turquoise one. You guys know I love a good blue turquoise aqua type of shade. And this palette, whoo, this one delivers, you guys. This one is perfect. You can also get this one at Ulta. I want to say it's $10. So obviously not much to choose from. You've got a couple of metallics and a couple of mattes, but boy, do these pack a punch. They practically jump off your eye and kick the person in the face. This is how bold they are. Seriously, I was wearing this again when I went to Sephora and people were like, what are you wearing on your eye? And I was like, it's the little Colourpop Hello Kitty palette. So I actually liked this one so much that I would really like to pick up the others in this collection. Particularly, let's see, let's put these right here. The orange and the pink one, but this is everything summer in a palette. It is like swimming pool vibes and it is so inexpensive. So again, if you're in the market for this type of color story, and then you don't want to pay a lot, these little quads are the way to go if you're looking to pay minimal and get something very you're very intentional in what you want, which this will give it to you because there's only 4 shades. So let's finish this off with these last palettes from Colourpop. They were having a sale at some point is when I got that Colourpop palette, the cherry one, and these. These palettes right here, and I forget what collection, I forget what it was called. I don't remember. Okay, well, it just kind of fled my mind. But honestly, you guys, if I had to do it over again, these I would not pick up. I have to say that out of all of the palettes I've purchased from Colourpop, these are probably the ones that are, I don't want to say the least quality, but they don't, I feel like they're not up to par with, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I wasn't really a fan. And that takes a lot for me because I really do enjoy a good Colourpop eyeshadow palette. Sorry, I'm taking them out of the boxes because I do keep the boxes. So here's the thing. I find that every time I order these 5-pan palettes with this clear Natasha Denona looking lid or cover, I find that they come in looking so cheap because they're all dusty on the inside. Like, something about it is just not, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. So they come in dusty, they come in kind of crumbly, it's just gross. And I find that the mattes in these are just so lackluster. I have to build, and even then I get bald spots. There's a few of the metallics that I really like this green one right here. But literally, out of all of these, I mean, I don't think I can say that I absolutely love even one of them. So if you've been on the fence with these, in fact, I think they started even putting them on sale, I would say just, you know, hold off. I don't know. Something about them, they're just, and it's kind of hit or miss. It's not like every single shade is bad, but I don't know. I don't know how to even describe it to you except that I just wasn't a fan and I wouldn't repurchase them if I could do it over again. So these particular ones are a total, I don't want to say a total bust, but they're kind of a bust for me. So just there's others I liked so much more in my July eyeshadow palette purchases. Alrighty, my friends, well, I am gonna let you go with a verse of the day down here. I'm sorry, this is the second video where I've done that, but my Bible is downstairs and I am heading out as we speak. So I love each and every one of you. Thank you for stopping by and spending time with me. I hope the verse encourages you, motivates you, and that you know that Jesus loves you so, so much. If you don't already know him as your Lord and Savior, it is my prayer that he makes himself very real to you and that you would hear him, that you would hear his voice, hear him calling your name, and that you would truly know how much he loves you. All right, friends, I will see you in the next one. Take care. I love you guys. Bye.